That's right, we're live. Alright, greetings. How's the sound? How's everything? I don't know. The camera weirdly set up. Oh, let me just do this thing right here. Okay. So now. So now I want to do this live stream uh, because I did the community tab thing where I posted. Hello there. uh, where I where I posted my rough draft of the of my veganism. Defining veganism. And the thing is, it's a rough draft. I even put in parentheses. Yeah, parentheses. That it's a rough draft, not the definitive version. But I don't know. I got some comments about it, and people were not happy about it. I don't know, because apparently I was saying that I am demanding that they make Beyond Burgers and stuff, and that's not what I mean. That's not the intention. The demands, the word demands, and you're gonna see it. I'm going to read the definition again here. So this is what I got right now. Of course, feel free to pitch in, and pitch me some ideas for the definition. Let's do this thing, and let's make it fun. Let's put as many things as we can think of there. But here's the yeah. Let's say it's a veganism. It's an ethical stance against all forms of use, abuse, exploitation, and cruelty from human to non-human animals, and by extension, demands the development and use of animal-free alternatives. Veganism recognizes non-human animals as individuals who value their lives and therefore cannot be considered consumable in any way and under no circumstance, and cannot be considered items or resources of any type. Now, I understand that the part that says demands the development and use of animal-free alternatives caused some kind of controversy. I put that there because in the original definition it says that it promotes the development and use of animal-free alternatives. And the word promotes kinda, I don't know, I took it to mean like it's like a suggestion, like, oh yeah, let's just suggest this thing, and if they do it, it's fine, or if they don't, like, no, I'm saying is, when you can go, yeah, the problem, I tend to like it if taken as intended. I would just like to, yeah. I don't know, the thing with the, which means we should behave as we do as vegans. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the thing with it. Right. So that's kind of like the thing. So the original, it's not that it's bad or wrong. I'm not saying, I'm not gonna be here telling Donald Watson and Leslie Cross, what they're the ones who knew better, I guess. But here's the thing. Uh, their definition has been misinterpreted, I guess, by others, and that's the problem for me, because now let me just do this thing right here. Okay. For example, I knew something was missing. The light. Let there be light. Hello, just arrived. Oh, hello, Angelo. Greetings. So yeah, so we are gathered here today to define veganism. No pressure, of course. And of course, you don't have to go by my definition, of course. It's just an exercise that I'm doing because I wasn't happy about how certain people want to interpret the original definition. So I wanted to make one that was more, more ironclad, more like, yeah, no, you're not going to be a vegan if you think this way or if you do this thing. Because some other people want to make veganism like some kind of hippie dippy philosophy idea that if you believe in it, there you go, you're already a vegan. It doesn't matter if you're eating, ribs and you're eating turkey legs and stuff. Who cares? Yeah, you're a vegan because you don't want to. So that I don't know, that's weird. So to me, it's like, no, you're a vegan if you do this exact things. If you don't, then you're not a vegan. And to me, that's very important because it all stems from that you can be vegan even if you don't do vegan things is insane. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly my point. Versus practicable, I think the difference is that practicable means able to be put in practice. Exactly, yeah. Practicable means that something can be done, and practical just means that it's the easiest or the easiest way or the most efficient way to do that thing. Um, of course, there are practical can mean several other things because it could be practical to do something, but then it could be more expensive to do the practical things. So, how practical would it be to spend more money on that versus spending a little bit more time and effort and less money? I don't know, but that's another stuff, and that's not why we're here. We're we're here to try and solve these things. So what I meant with the I tried to do away. Yeah, exactly. RV is not going in the right direction. Yeah, totally. I mean, this hippy dippy idea, and I have my theory as to why he wants to make the vegan definition something, you know, more of a subjective thing than you. I mean, if you feel like it, like one crazy afternoon, you can do it. If not, whatever, whatevs. And I think the problem is that he wants to sometimes eat meat and be justified and not be called out and to not have people calling to publicly hang him or stuff like that, or not have, for example, me saying a giant bird should peck him to death. uh, which, by the way, it's very, not only it's a funny joke, the Alex should get pecked to death by a giant bird, but actually it is very intelligent because it comes from the Greek mythology. The Prometheus, the titan who gave humans fire, and Zeus found out and punished him for eternity, uh, chaining him to a rock and having an eagle fly by every day and peck his liver, you know, and the guy would like basically just die every day and then regenerate the organs, whatever, and he would go through the same horrible hell every day for the rest of time. So I thought, hey, that's a cool thing. I would press a button that has Alex go through the same thing. That could be funny. But he took it so so literally and stuff that I don't know. I just thought it made it funnier that he thought I was being serious. So to me that made it even funnier. And he was so appalled by the thought that I was like, yeah, I'm going to act like I'm being serious with this, but it was just a joke. Veganism is mostly about the recognition of animals as individuals. Means you don't have this belief. Yeah, exactly. We must recognize non-human animals as individuals because they really are. And to me, these weird, crazy ideas that some people have, saying like, well, we don't know what a cow is thinking, and they don't really think about their future, so they don't really care if they die or not. Like, what the hell is that? If you're alive and you know you're alive, you feel things, you see the world, you feel the world around you, you have a conscience, you have an awareness of yourself, and you don't want to die. You don't want to suffer and die. You know. Of course, you may not be familiar with the concept of death, but if you see danger, you're going to recognize it. You're going to recognize a terrible situation if you're in it. So I don't understand. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Cows aren't going to graduate from bovine university or something. That's not a thing. They're not going to become lawyers or doctors or anything. Doesn't mean their lives are worthless. But of course, that's the utilitarians for you. You know, if you don't contribute anything to society, like society is something to be upheld or whatever. Yeah, great society that we have. A bunch of, you know, drug addicts and prostitutes and whatnot, and politicians. So, really, wow, wow. What a great society. What great are humans. Yeah, come on. So, I don't know, man. What can I tell you? So it's like, oh no, if you don't contribute, so animals don't contribute to anything and they don't give you rights, so they don't deserve rights. And what kind of crap is that? Man, they'll do anything to eat a burger, I tell you. You know? It's crazy. But that's why we're here. We're here to try to make this vegan thing really, really something that works for the animals, not for us. And that's exactly my other point. It doesn't matter, even if it's difficult to do. Even if it seems like, oh no, it's impossible because, cars have leather seats and this thing has this other stuff in it. Alright, it does, but you know what? You can't take that as an excuse to commit more harm and more, inflict more pain onto these beings. Like, oh no, well, that car had leather seats in it, and I sat there, so now I can eat a burger. No, that's not how it works. You're not justified in doing more harm that you know that you can't stop yourself from causing, just because there are some other stuff or unavoidable situations in which you're going to inflict harm upon others. That's ridiculous. So it's like, I don't know, people don't stop driving because, oh no, there might be a pedestrian that I'm going to run over or something. It's a risk we all take. The pedestrian takes the risk of walking, the driver takes the risk of driving, and I don't know, we're not going to stop doing these activities. I mean, everything we do comes with danger attached to it. Everything. There's no activity that doesn't have some sort of hazard element to it. Even walking up and down the stairs can kill you. So, I mean, an elevator could, malfunction, and who knows, in a really tall building, it could malfunction, and, whatever could happen. So, no, there's so many ways to cause harm to yourself and stuff. But that doesn't mean that you're going to do something harmful on purpose just because accidents or incidents happen. So that's the thing. It's weird. It's like, and this crop deaths argument is like, yeah, he's so tired. It's like, yeah. Ah, man, I love that the "yeah" thing has taken over. I think people are appreciating it. I came up with that thing because I was like, man, I'm really tired of hearing the same thing with lions, though, and stuff like that. And I was just picturing if I did like an outreach thing, and I was out there, and the first guy that comes on to me and says something like lions or something like that, I just know I'm gonna lose it. I will not have patience for that. I'm just gonna go yeah. Because of course not it's not their fault. They probably never said that to anyone. They don't know that I've heard that a cajillion times before. Which makes it funnier. That being an outreach video you did was so funny, made my day entirely. Oh, say thank you. Oh man, yeah, it was funny to make too. I had to repeat that gap part where I was like face palming and stuff like many, many times because I could not stop myself from. It's just picturing like the actual situation. Like imagine if I don't know, like Earthling Ed did that. I'm telling you, one of these days he's going to snap. He's going to finally snap. Someone is going to make him mad, and he's just gonna lose it. He's just gonna be like, yeah. Man. Oh man, he's heard it all, at this point. Oh man, poor Ed, really. Ah, no, no, no. I would not. I don't know. I don't know how he does it. Ouch. Yeah, I'm thirsty. All right, so yeah, on to the definition itself. So yeah, I don't know. If you have any suggestions, please share them with me. I am open to all suggestions for the definition and stuff. And it's not like the definition is like, oh, it's my project, so this is what's going to be. It can be whatever. It's just a fun experiment. It's not going to be anything official. Like I'm not some authority on on veganism or anything. I'm just some guy. I'm just some extremely concerned citizen. You know. So that's it. Just a concerned person trying to do the best for the animals. And yeah, so the possible and practicable thing, the thing that prompted me to do this exercise and trying to come up with a better definition is this whole, Alex O'Call on the back. Wait, what do you think is the wrong part about the definition? I think it's very accurate. Yeah, here's the thing, right? So we could be reading the same text, but at the same time, we're not really seeing the same thing. That could happen. So I read it and I think it's perfectly explained, and the meaning I get from it, I put it to work, and I say this is perfect. The text is absolutely perfect. But the problem is, others don't do the same thing. Others interpret it in other ways. And because it says words like seeks to exclude, they're trying to exploit that by saying, well, I'm just seeking to, be vegan one day. But I don't have to be because the definition says seeks. That's not what it's referring to. It says seeks at a global scale because the global human society hasn't come to that yet. But for the individual, each individual can go 100% vegan with no excuse. Now the whole world cannot do that because the thing is that companies and multinationals and all that, they have their logistics and their systems put in place, their death machines that cannot be just stopped right away in that way. But you can stop yourself from causing this unnecessary harm and death to animals. There's no excuse for the individual. So this seeks to exclude. Okay, yeah, that's for the global society at large, not for the individual. He's not vegan, which means he acknowledges that he doesn't fit the definition. Oh, vegan pundit. Nice to see you here. Yeah, exactly. Even Alex himself said he's not a vegan, and even though certain other not vegan wants to make him a vegan. Oh man, no, he's so not a vegan. I'm still waiting for his extraordinary justification, no? That he himself said. He said it. Extreme cruelty requires extreme justification, but apparently it doesn't. It just requires a very vague community post. So I don't know. I didn't know that counts as extreme justification. So, it's funny. Exactly. Concern is meaningless without action. I do agree. So that's the thing. I can say whatever. I can say, oh yeah, I don't want to hurt animals. But then if I'm actually hurting them with my actions, it doesn't matter what I say. So I don't know. It's weird. So that's the thing. I don't want the interpretation is to be like some vague thing. I want to make it as tight as possible because it needs to be. It cannot be that anyone can just call themselves a flexitarian or something like that, or ovo-lacto Mongolatarian. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired. I can't. It's too much. Like my life, none of that means anything to the animals. Like reducitarian, that's not even a thing. You're not reducing anything. You're just reducing, you know, the amount of money you spend on animal abuse. That's all that you're reducing. You're not reducing anything else. Which you might think, well, that helps the animal. Does it really? I mean, going from 5 steaks to 3 doesn't really help any animal. It doesn't. It's just the same thing. You're paying to have the same thing done, so it's not you're not reducing anything. Um, I don't know. Oh man, something can be good and still not be right. Like, what do you mean, Angelo? But I don't know. I can't see the whole conversation because I'm streaming through the mobile phone, so I can't see the whole thing. So I don't know. It's weird. The comments just pop up on the screen, and I cannot access the whole conversation or something. I don't know. Um, Less killing is good, but less killing is not morally right. I mean, yeah, but less killing is not even good because it's killing, and killing itself is. I mean, it's already bad. So it's like, oh man, but yeah, I get what you mean. Um, oh, this light is coming dimmer. Let me see. Okay. Ah, no. Okay. Okay. So that's the thing. So that's my thing with the theory or the definition. So the demands part was more not trying to say that, oh no, you must make Beyond Burgers and Impossible sausages and stuff. I'm not demanding that. Now I would be demanding vegan Maltesers. Better get on it, someone. I mean, that has to be considered a human right. We must make it a human right to have vegan Maltesers. Yes, that's right. uh, yeah. And then I don't know, but so the demands part is not that I'm demanding some meat replacement products. I'm demanding that we make use of things that are not animals or that don't come from animals. It doesn't have to be like any particular brand of thing. It can just be whatever that it doesn't involve any animal. Because anything that's not an animal is an alternative to animals. So it can be anything. I mean, rice and beans is an alternative to animal products in food, So that's the thing. I'm not talking about Gardein burgers or you know any brand, specific brand, or trying to make it like a commercial thing or something. Um, so yeah, and then there's another paragraph that says that animals are to be considered individuals with their own will to live, and we cannot consider them food items or any other type of item or resources. And I wanted to include that because, of course, I understand that by today's society, and this is something that I also wanted to include in the definition, um, that, yeah, of course, that in today's society, the way everything evolved, the way we have these cities and stuff, and roads and cars and technology and everything, and huge buildings and whatever, um, there are certain things that we can't avoid doing to animals even if we wanted to. And for example, medicine and stuff like uh, a great friend of mine was pointing it out in the community tab in the comments. Uh, that yeah, medicine and stuff, for example, but just because uh, certain medicine and stuff, it comes from it comes from like animal testing, or it actually has like some animal derived components in it, like gelatin, for example. That doesn't justify killing a pig for like for pork chops or stuff. It doesn't justify that, and also it doesn't mean that, oh no, because I can't avoid this, then we're not going to do anything about it. No, no, we need to, and that's the part that I say demands. I'm demanding that they do something also in medicine and stuff. Like we do away with the vivisection and all that crap, and we stop testing animals, and we stop doing this thing for any purpose whatsoever. Like no more animals in medicine or in science, because it's clearly not working. There's nothing we can take from those studies. Like, oh yeah, this study showed that rats that ate red M&Ms died, so like developed pancreatic cancer. So like, doesn't mean anything really. I mean, it's like, oh no, they fed this rat a Beyond sausage and it died. Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, dogs can die from eating chocolate, but chocolate is not as toxic to humans as it is for the dogs. So it's like it's ridiculous thinking that because you perform an experiment on an animal and you get a result, the same result could be applied for a human when it's not. Like I don't get it. Like it's weird. Like I understand that in the 1950s they thought that that was an idea or something when they didn't know better, and doctors were, you know, uh, they were giving you like heroin or stuff for for a headache or something, you know. But in this day and age, when we know better, there's no excuse for any of that. So I don't know. Stop it with the experiments on monkeys and rats and beagles and all that, and just do something else. I don't know. Yeah. So, and so that's why I wanted to make it clear that, yeah, we have to view animals as their own selves, and we have to assign moral value to them in a way that doesn't, like, it prevents us to intentionally harm them in any way. That's the main takeaway of my theory, of my definition. And that it cannot we cannot justify things by saying, oh, it was difficult for me, and then I don't even explain why it was difficult. No, that's not a thing. Like, if you're going to be an ex-vegan, you're gonna have to give a really good explanation as to why that is, and it cannot be some BS. You know, man alive. It cannot be something ridiculous like, I don't know, because, well, I went to my cousin's house for a sleepover and they ordered pizza, and what was I going to do? No, that's garbage. What are you going to do? I don't know. But eating the pizza is not is not what you're going to do. So you see, that's the thing. So to me, this practicable thing and this possible thing or not, it's like so ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I understand that the vegan society defined it that way at the time when they did it. It made more sense, but as time has gone by and things have progressed, we now have absolutely, like, I mean, every day there's less and less excuse possible for these things to continue. I mean, you cannot say, hey, it was too difficult to maintain a healthy plant-based. Like, why was it difficult? Then just correct what wasn't working. Like, okay, you were eating, let's say, too much fiber or too little fiber, or you were doing not enough calories or way too much. You can correct that. Just go to the doctor, see what's wrong, and correct the thing you were doing wrong. Educate yourself better. There's a thing called the internet. It's not just for uh, searching scantily clad ladies. It's also for searching information. You know, crazy, but it's true. And you can look for, nutrition and stuff. So it's not like there's no excuse. And this Alex guy, for example, or someone like him, it's not like he doesn't have access to this knowledge, to this internet thing. It's not like he doesn't know how to use it. Man alive. So, oh man, that's what I mean. Like, oh no, it wasn't healthy. I could not maintain a healthy plant-based diet. Okay, but why and how was it? What were you eating? Oreos and chips and Coca-Cola? I don't know. That's the thing. I've been vegan for a little bit more than 2 years. I haven't really paid attention, too much attention to the nutrition side of it. And I haven't fainted. I haven't, fractured anything. I feel just, feel just normal. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't get it. There's like really no excuse. The only excuse is that people want to eat these animal products, and they don't really care because they don't really see the animals as individuals with their own thoughts and feelings and all that. And when you don't see the animals that way, it's easier to not be vegan because you're not seeing the real problem here. And you can watch as many documentaries and slaughterhouse footage and whatever, but if you don't really consider the animals, individuals who just like you can feel and they can bleed and they can cry, my life, like, you're not going to get it. You're going to see the slaughterhouse footage and you're just going to think, all right, when's dinner gonna be ready or something? Oh, hey, there goes bacon. You know, you're not going to feel anything, any empathy or anything, because to you the animals are just mindless drones. So that's the thing, or at least that's in my experience what happens. That's why it took me so long to actually be vegan, because I didn't see the animals as they are. I saw them for what I wanted to see them. So it didn't really affect me that much watching, all of those. I mean, not that I watched those documentaries, but I did watch some slaughterhouse footage or something and certain images, but I didn't really pay attention to that. I was like, yeah, whatever, give me a steak or something. But when I finally understood that animals are in fact these individuals who feel and who want to live, and I understood that I don't need to eat them and that I can just eat plants and be perfectly happy and not kill anyone in the process, I was like, oh, I get it now. So when I watched the slaughterhouse footage and the farms and all that, and I understood what was really happening and I saw the real horror, I was like, okay, you know what? That's it. That's it. I'm not paying any more for this thing to happen. I'm not going to be the reason these animals have nightmares and live this hell on earth. No, I'm not going to be that thing. I'm not going to participate on this thing anymore. So Did it matter to me at the time? I wasn't going to be like, oh no, I'm just one person, so I can't make a difference. No, I was like, you know what? Even if I can't make a difference, I don't have to participate on it. So that's it. I don't have to take part in this thing. If it makes a difference or not. I mean, there's horrible crimes and horrible acts being committed by humans to other humans all the time. I don't participate in those either. So why would I participate in this thing that we're doing to the animals? It's not justified by any means. Single issue campaigns are good, so are multi issue campaigns. I think both have their place. Angelo, yeah, you're right. I don't understand why some people have a problem with single issue campaigns. I mean, when it comes to the animals, there's no such thing as I mean, it is. I mean, the whole thing is a single issue because it's the single issue of speciesism, which is the one thing that made it possible that all of these horrible systems of abuse and oppressions, made it possible. It's the same thing. It's that same core idea that made possible slaughterhouses, SeaWorld, horse racing, bullfighting. All of that is made possible by this horrible idea of discrimination by species. And to me, boycotting SeaWorld is very important. I want SeaWorld to close as soon as possible. I hope they go bankrupt. And I hope the people who, the CEOs, the executives who are filling their pockets with a bunch of money, I don't know, I hope the worst for them, and those trainers, man, they're garbage people too because they know they are abusing these animals and they don't care. Um, so I don't know. It's horrible. And if you think about it, SeaWorld, the only thing, I mean, they may have fewer victims to their names, but what they do to the animals that they hold captive is so horrible because think about it. A whale or an orca at a SeaWorld location, something like that, is is a slave for life, and their life can be decades long. In farms and slaughterhouses, the animals don't last all that all that long. Like cows last, I think between for like dairy cows, they last like 4 to 7 years, something like that. That's the longest. I guess all the other animals like chickens last like weeks or like a few months. So do turkeys and ducks and stuff. It's like it's just a few months, a horrible hell of existence, and then they get killed. But these orcas and these dolphins and stuff, they live for decades inside those teeny tiny tanks, absolutely miserable, and being forced to perform for a ridiculous crowd of people, and being absolutely, and going through diseases and stuff and depression and who knows what else, and what kind of abuse they receive from the trainers and stuff like that. So it's like if you think about it, it's like the acts being committed to these animals inside those pools and tanks, it lasts so much longer that it's like, I don't know, even if it's fewer victims, they go through so much. It's horrible. It's horrible. Um, so yeah, SeaWorld has to go. There's no redeeming quality to them. I'm sorry. Um, they just need to go. They need to go now. They're terrible. And the same thing with bullfighting and all that. Like bullfighting is so ridiculous. I don't even know why that's still a thing. Like we have so many other forms of entertainment that's not even entertaining. So I don't get it. And yeah, single issue campaigns. I see it. I understand that the side of yeah, let's fight for the whole thing and not just one thing. But any one thing that gets shut down is great. You know, if like I don't know, if we finally ban, you know, fur and fur is no longer a thing anywhere in the world, that would be amazing. Uh, Same as leather and silk and all of that. So it would be amazing if that all of that stopped right away and wasn't a thing anymore. Um, of course, we want the whole thing, and I want the whole thing, and I'm fighting for total animal liberation here. I'm not some welfareist or anything. I'm not gonna fight for bigger cages or anything like that because it's ridiculous. There's no point in fighting for bigger cages because it's not a step towards liberation. Bigger cages is just some annoyance that we, the taxpayers, are going to have to fund. Because here's the other angle: you give animals more space at farms and stuff, and who's subsidizing the farms? Yeah, the freaking government and stuff. So they're going to subsidize that with what? Your tax money. So now you are paying for bigger cages. You don't want to pay for that crap. You want to liberate the animals. I don't want to fund some farm or anything or some slaughterhouse. Okay, so yeah, my light just went off. Yeah, that's great. This battery doesn't. It's terrible, terrible batteries. I don't know. So yeah, that's the thing. So who's gonna pay for all that? The taxpayers, even vegans who have to obviously pay taxes. We're not exempt. It should be a law. It should be a law that if you're vegan, you don't have to. You know, vegans should not have to pay rent and taxes. You know. But you know what? But yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know. Hey there, reasonable vegan. Um, so yeah, so that's the thing. Now I understand, and one thing that I wanted to point out is that yes, again, some situations as of today, some instances of harm to animals cannot be avoided today. But then again, I will repeat this thing. Just because that's a thing doesn't justify doing some other thing that we can't totally avoid. It's not like, oh no, crop deaths, so I'm going to eat pork chops because, well, insects die in crop fields anyway. So who cares? I'm gonna eat a steak, I'm gonna eat ribs, I'm gonna eat turkey legs. No, it doesn't justify that. Not one bit. It's ridiculous. So, and the whole crop deaths argument is not even an argument. It's some BS that farmers like to say because that's the only thing they have. That's the only thing. They have nothing. They can't win in the ethical department. They can't win in the uh, health argument. They can't win the environmental argument. All they have is creating this scenario, trying to make it seem like this, you know, horrible thing, and it's like, oh, it's the vegans who are doing this. No, it's not the vegans. I'm sorry. Show me all those vegan farms. There's no vegan farms. All those farms are run by animal abusing people who don't care about animals in the first place. That's why we have those pesticides and herbicides and all that, because the people who came up with all of that, with that system, they never cared for the animals or for humans or for the environment in the first place. That's not my fault. When I buy a tomato, I'm paying for a tomato. I'm not paying for pesticides or anything like that. It doesn't need to be part of the equation. But when you buy a steak, you are definitely paying for an animal to get murdered because that's the only way to get a steak. There's no way around it. Sure, you could like take a chunk out of a cow and keep the cow alive, I guess, like prevent them from bleeding out or something, but I don't know how that would work. But still, you're inflicting intentional harm onto someone, and that's what we want to avoid. Now, I hope I made that point very clear, but I'm tired of explaining the freaking crop deaths, which is not even a thing. I'm sorry, it's not a thing. That's not an argument either. And the funny part is these farm animals, farm animals now, these farmers in animal farms, they're like, yeah, they're acting like they don't kill animals, and not just the ones they farm, but the ones that want to eat their livestock. Because you see, coyotes and other predatory animals, they try to enter these farms, and sometimes they do at night and stuff, and they eat the cattle and the poultry and the goats and stuff. So these farmers, they want to defend their property and stuff, and they shoot these other animals as well. So uh, what about animal agriculture deaths though? You don't like it, right? You don't talk about that part. Garland. By the way, Garland is a goat banger. He bangs goats. Yeah, that's right. Well, he bangs them, inseminates them, kills them, enslaves them. And he thinks he's got the moral high ground, this Judy Garland. What a numquat. Uh, and I bet he bangs the goats. He does. I'm sorry. He has to because, it's a farmer in like central Texas. Obviously, he's, doing some freaky, freaky thing with those poor animals. And you just know it. Yeah. And that's the thing. Ah, man alive. It's so ridiculous, man. It's like, oh no. Definitely conversation is everything. It's good to see Vogon poetry. Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't know. This crop deaths is not even an argument. It's like so ridiculous, man. And this, oh, but hunting is better and stuff. And like, no, it's not better. You're killing someone. Like, that's not better. You know what's better? Not killing anyone. That's the best part. The not killing anyone at all. On purpose. How about that? Well, what a crazy concept. Respect other lives. What a crazy concept. We live in a world where that's a thing that is like the crazy thing to say. Absolutely ridiculous. So, I don't know. Let me see something here. If I can just. Yeah, 'cause I think I can see the. Alright, because I can see the conversation here. Let me see. More imperative in this case, veganism high on the chart. High reasonable, even if there's disagreement. I am glad you are engaging with the topic of animal liberation, bringing it to others. Yeah, he's engaging, but the problem is he's engaging it wrong. AJ, I do not want to eat meat. Yeah, you do. Come on, you do. Otherwise, what would you say? No, yeah, vegan Wednesdays. And a life. Either that, or you're trying to cover for someone who does, and you just want to not get them in hot water, so to speak. I don't know, it's my theory. Oh, man. But don't worry, I won't be sending a giant bird to peck you or something. Oh man. Mm. So, what it says here, any thoughts on the wider effects on the humans saying that veganism became the moral baseline of our society? Whoa. Well, I haven't thought of that, but I'm guessing if veganism became like the default, I mean, that's the thing. If veganism succeeds, if and when, I hope it's a when and not an if situation, it's the only movement that it will erase itself because by everyone being vegan, no one will be. Like if we finally uh, find this vegan world, we make this vegan world happen. It won't be vegan anymore because everyone will be. Therefore, no one really will be. And it will just be the default. It's like it'll be the alternative version of what we have now, where the default is people who don't give a fly about anything. And so the default is going to be we're going to care about stuff. So it's going to be kind of weird, I guess, because we've lived in a world where this is not the case. So it seems like an outlandish concept, like something that's like science fiction or something like that, or or fantasy. Like what? We're gonna have like a vegan world where everything is like that. I don't know how does that look like. Kinda difficult to envision, right? Because we are so far from it that we cannot even comprehend how that would actually be. So yeah, it would be the end of racism for starters. Imagine if we all grew up to believe that all lives should be granted moral concern. But that's the thing. I mean, this thing about racism. Obviously, there are some racist people out there, and I think there's always going to be. Hey, my friend Revolta. Hello there, beautiful lady. Yeah, good to see you here. Um, so yeah, it would be the end of racism. Yeah, so the racism thing. Yeah, sure, there are some racist people out there, and I think there's always going to be some prejudice or another from individuals. But the systemic thing is going to definitely end. And I think it's basically just ended a long time ago. And some people claim that there is this thing called systemic racism. I don't really see it, but some people say that there is, but I don't really see it. It existed at some point, but not anymore. At least it's been phased out, or doesn't really. I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't know. Um, but I don't know. Discrimination based on some superficial thing should have to die because we don't know what it thinks, but it wanting to exist of not affects its value of existing compared to others. Okay, so Reasonable Vegan says, I don't think an animal should have to die because we don't know what it thinks, but it wanting to exist of not or not affects its value of existing compared to others. But I don't know, not really. Well, that's more of a philosophical thing, and that's more of an excuse to try and justify the actions that we inflict upon these animals. Really, it's like, oh well, we don't know what a cow is thinking. It could be thinking of killing you in your sleep, so you don't know. Like, come on, like we know that's not what they're thinking. you know, like when, oh man, like they don't think about the future, so who cares? Like no, they might, you don't know. Maybe they want to play Uno with their friends at some point. You don't know that. So yeah, or they would if they knew what Uno was. I don't know. Yeah, even though I don't think so because Uno breaks friendships. So no, I don't think so. I think cows would play Uno. But I don't know, or Monopoly, whatever it is. I don't know. Like, let's see. Hey, animals are here with us, not for us. Awesome. All right, it. All right, yeah. Nothing. Haha, Uno breaks friendships. Yeah, exactly. I don't see cows playing Uno. There's that painting of the dogs playing cards, but it's very famous painting. But I don't know if they would play Uno really. Uh, who knows? Who knows? They would play Scrabble, but then that would be terrible because all of them would try to spell moo, and then it would go to stalemate. No one would win. Oh man. So I don't know. I don't know, but So yeah, I don't know. It's like, oh no, cows don't graduate from law school, so yeah, let's chop them up. That's not a thing. I'm sorry. That's dumb. And I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's not like a thing. Like, I don't know. But in the philosophical thing, trying to think of hypotheticals and stuff, you're a regular riot turning veganist. Yeah, I come up with the funniest things to, like, I don't know. Yeah, I come up with these jokes and stuff because it's fun to picture it. Like, yeah, cows playing Scrabble, just trying to spell moo. I mean, that's funny. uh, Moo. How many points would that give you? Moo. Who knows? Would have to account for tonality. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like, eh, I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't matter what the animal is thinking because what matters is what you know what you're doing. And it's like, what you're doing is wrong. I mean, you have to know it. I mean, do you feel that the climate emergency timeframe should inform us in regards to the best approaches for achieving animal liberation? Climate emergency timeframe should inform us. Like in what way? I mean, I do think like this climate thing is really worrisome. I was a climate change denier for a while, for a long while. Not because I didn't think it was true, but because the implications of it being real were so scary to me that I tried to go into this denial mode. That no, that's just some. We don't agree on a lot, but I do love when you do the gah thing. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It has become a thing now. Uh, I might try to not overdo it because it can overstay its welcome. But yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, yeah. I started. I think I'm gonna start making the channel more with a humorous approach to it. I think I'm getting the hang of it now. Like that could be my angle, like my thing, like the personality of the channel. Like a comedic thing. Of course, I'm still going to do some serious stuff and talk about serious issues because the thing is a serious issue on itself. This animal massacre. But I find that implementing humor helps to cope with the whole thing because, well, yeah, it's the whole situation. The more you think about it, it's so horrible. So I try to bring some some funny thing to it. I don't know. I guess. Uh, yeah. Okay, let's see. We're at the 1 hour mark, so it's 1 p.m. here. Yeah, yeah. So gotta run. I hope to come back soon. All right. See you soon. Reasonable. So yeah, comedy street outreach. Yeah, if you've seen Jamie's corner, she does that. She's very comedic, and she does the outreach and stuff with like jokes and stuff. And she's really fun, and she's just so camera ready. I mean, that lady is just absolutely awesome, and she's rocking it. She's absolutely rocking it with the humor and the street outreach, and she's just amazing with that thing. I might try to do some similar or something. I don't know. Of course, not with the same production value, and but I might do some outreach. I would love to do the outreach thing, but I do feel like I'm going to actually go like yeah. The first guy that says circle of life, I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna jump over the table and like, and the guy will be like clueless, like, wow, what the hell is this? What's happening? Like, yeah, because he doesn't know. I've heard this thing 10 trillion times already. So, man, oh man. By the way, I have another video coming up. I already got the idea and the concept. Is gonna be about the cube of truth. The cube of truth, that thing they do with the screens and the masks, and it's like a thing they show you the slaughterhouse footage and stuff. And there's like two teams. The outreach team that is like they're the ones who speak and do the discussion and the talk and stuff. And then they have the cube guys. Then the guy will never go vegan because a vegan was mean to him. Exactly, yeah, exactly. Oh no, some vegan tried to strangle me, so I'm not going to I'm not going to go vegan. Or maybe they will. Maybe they'll be like, oh no, my life is in danger. I better go vegan, otherwise I'm gonna I'm gonna get shanked. Man alive. Yeah, but I'm doing a video on about the cube of truth. It's gonna be really awesome. You're not gonna want to miss that one. It's gonna be really funny too. Ah man. So I don't know. Any questions or suggestions for the vegan definition? Something about it that you don't like? Apparently, yeah. The man's part. I'll see if I can delete that part. I don't know. I guess it doesn't need to be there since I was already saying that not to touch animals in any way. So the logical conclusion to that is, yeah, just go for any alternative to animals. So it's like the logical conclusion, but I put the demands part in there, and the other paragraph blatantly stating that animals are not to be considered, things or items or resources, because we live in a society that's not very logical. We live in a society that thinks, some people think that the earth is flat, or that some lizard people, underground lizard people, are running the world, or that, I don't know, that the moon is made of cheese or something. So they're the reason why, the coffee, coffee box has to say, careful, it's hot, don't touch iron, it's hot, or whatever. It's like, they're the reason this warning exists, these warning labels. So I don't know. We can arrive to a logical conclusion because we're vegans, therefore we're obviously smarter or intelligenter. That's right. That's the real word. And of course, so That's the thing. We can arrive to logical conclusions, but meat-eating people, not so much. Remember, their arteries are clogged with all the cholesterol and stuff. Oxygen doesn't get to their brains the same way it does to us. So, they might not arrive at that same conclusion unless you spell it out, really spell it out with huge, letters and small words that they can understand. So when you say something like practicable, you know, short circuit, it's like nothing. They can't fathom the thing. Can you be a vegan and eat one spoonful of honey a year? You cannot. You cannot. Unless someone by surprise spoon feeds you the honey, you weren't expecting it, they forced it on you, I don't know, somehow, and they made you swallow the thing, then whatever. Not really your fault. But on purpose, like, yeah, a jar of honey, well, I'm gonna Winnie the Pooh this thing. No, that's not a thing. So, no, that's not a vegan thing to do. Because vegan means at every time, 24/7, you're not going to consume any animal thing ever. As much as possible and practicable. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's quite hard to put exactly into words the whole philosophy, especially when there are situations like medicaments tested on animals or that contain animal products that people need to take. Yeah, exactly. The whole thing with medical field, the medicine field is just a horror show. It's always been. They've tested since the beginning of time. That's how we learned about anatomy and stuff, chopping up people, seeing their inner parts, whatever. When there wasn't scanners or anything like that, there was no MRI, there was no X-ray, so they had to cut you open to see what was inside. So so it's like, yeah, it's been a learning process, and it's been gruesome and horrible for both animals and I mean human animals and non-human animals. So the whole medicine field is like, the history of it is absolutely horrible. Of course, today I don't think we need any more testing like that. I don't think we do need any of that. Not that it was ever needed, really. With the animals, it's like no conclusion can be taken from it, I guess. But I don't know. There's things like, for example, if a snake bites you, there's like the snake antidote has to be taken from the same venom of the snake. So I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know how we can get around that exactly. Maybe ChatGPT can come up with a formula for for snake poison antidotes without having to use a snake and stuff like that. Spiders and other venomous. Is it venomous or poisonous? Like, are animals venomous or poisonous? What are they? When is it venomous and when is it poisonous? I don't remember. That's a thing in English, because in Spanish everything is just poisonous, or actually venomous. Yeah, everything is just venomous. There's no poison. Like, I don't know. That's a thing in English. I don't know. But yeah, so it's like a thing. Like, I don't know, how do you come up with the antidote and stuff? So it's like, but you know what? It's weird that in medicine we have these. I mean, these pills and aspirins and stuff, and they have like gelatin. And I'm like, gelatin? Like, why? Where's the medicine in boiled bones of cows and pigs and cartilage from like sharks and stuff? Like, that's not a medicine. I don't know. Why are they doing that? The gelatin on pills and stuff? Venom is referring to the fluid that delivers the poison. I don't know. It's like venomous is something and then poisonous. I don't remember. It's like if an animal bites you and injects you, that's venomous. But if it's like a plant with like a component, that's poisonous. I don't know. I don't or like those frogs that if you touch them, they poison you. That's poisonous. But if it's injected from like a bite or a sting, it's venomous. I think that's the distinction. But I don't know. It hurts like hell and it can kill you. So you know, I don't think it matters if it's venomous or poisonous. You're not gonna be like, is this venomous or poisonous? No, you're gonna be like, yeah, chop my arm off, please, or worse, yeah. But yeah, it's weird with these pills and this gelatin thing. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why they do that. Maybe to make them more squishy or easier to swallow or something, I guess. I think adding milk powder to things, even when it appears not to have any utility in a recipe, is another way animal agriculture tries to justify itself. Look how much we need milk for. BS. Yeah, that's a thing. Like they're trying to incorporate all these things in where they're not even like needed for the thing to be made. So it's like, I don't know. It's because they have so much of it that they need to make to, I don't know, to put in whatever. Salt as an addictive additive, I bet. I don't know. I don't really buy into the whole milk or cheese and stuff. Like dairy is addictive and stuff. I don't know. Or maybe it is, but it was never addictive for me. It was like, okay, if I ate it, whatever, I did. If I didn't, wasn't really feeling anything different when I was a meat eater. So I don't know. This addiction thing to food, I don't know. I don't think the science is all there, really. Yeah, I mean this addiction thing is such a like a an excuse. It's like, oh, I'm too addicted to this thing to give it up, and it's difficult for me. So I'm just no. That's not a thing. I mean, it can feel like a thing when you're not really sure or when you don't know the side of it that's wrong. When you're not seeing, for example, like what happens to the cows to get the cheese and the milk and stuff. Gotta leave now. Looking forward to your new video, AJ. Thanks everyone for being awesome vegans. Oh well, thank you, my dear friend, for being awesome. Thank you for your time. So yeah, have a good one. We'll talk later. So yeah, um, I don't know. It's weird. This thing is it's not even, I don't know, the addictive thing. I don't buy it. It's something you say when you're not really aware of what goes on with the animals, because once you are, it's impossible to say I just love cheese too much. After you see these things they do to the cows and stuff, it's like there's no love for cheese that is strong enough to, you know. I'm sorry. Believe me, there was nothing that I loved more than pepperoni pizza. Like an extra large, extra greasy pepperoni pizza. But once I saw the horrors, I was like, yeah, you know what? Goodbye, pepperoni pizza. Hello, broccoli. Hello, steamed carrots. It is what it is. Like, I'm not going to. No, never again. I was like, yeah, nah. No, thank you. I don't want this thing. No. Oh, man. So no, and I was one of those meat eaters who didn't really like vegetables all that much. I mean, I did like onions and green bell peppers and tomatoes, but tomatoes are a fruit, so technically not really a vegetable. But and potatoes, I guess they're like their own uh, kind of stuff. But yeah, I used to be a cheese fanatic and quit it overnight. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're a fan of something. It's easy to be like very addicted or fanatic of something, but when you see the horror show behind that thing, it's like, ugh, no, thank you. Like, what? This is horrible. Not to harm anyone with my food choices more than any pepperoni pizza ever could. Exactly. Exactly. So to me, it's like not even a thing. Like, pizza, whatever. I'm not going to. Like, it's not a thing anymore. It's not a thing that I want anymore. I mean, I would love it if they come up with a really good vegan version of it, but I don't know. If they don't, it's the same to me. I'm still not going to eat animals. So, but yeah, get on it with the vegan Maltesers. That should be in the, should be a human right to have vegan Maltesers. Pizza without cheese. Yeah, I've had some pizza without cheese and without any other animal derived components in like the dough or the sauce or anything. It still tastes good and stuff. Of course, it doesn't have the cheese in it, which can be kind of weird because we're used to seeing it with like the cheese and stuff. So planning to make the burger dude's pepperoni pizza looks fangorious. Oh, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that recipe. I'll see. I'll check it out. But I haven't made any recipe by the burger dude because I'm too lazy to do any of that. So I'm like, like, I mean, I live vicariously through him, but I don't do them myself. I just watch him and I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know if there's anything about this definition. I don't know what else we can. So yeah. So I wanted to make it very. No, it's not my birthday. It's just a mug that says happy birthday because they gave me to be like 2 birthdays ago or something. It just says that, but no, it's not my birthday. um. So it's the only mug that I have. So so yeah. But yeah, so that's the thing. So I wanted to make it very clear in the definition also that even though there are some situations or some instances of human to animal harm that cannot be avoided today, doesn't justify the things that we can avoid, and doesn't justify and also that we are going to work to make those unavoidable things also avoidable, that we're going to come up with alternatives to that. So no more crop deaths though argument, no more any of that trash because I'm tired of that. Like, crop deaths though. Yeah, sure, buddy. You're shooting babies in the head, but crop deaths. Yeah, come on. So, yeah, that's a thing. So, I don't know. Let me see. Have you looked at another YouTuber's proprietary definitions? I know the Nutribor. Nutribor. Well, I know the Nutribor. I'm not very familiar with the Nutribor. I mean, I know he exists or something, but what is his definition? I am convinced the majority of crop deaths are because farmers are non-vegans themselves, not because they are actually. Exactly, that's my point. They don't care about animals, so they don't give a fly about whatever happens to them. That's just the thing. They don't care. Why would they try to avoid harming those animals when they don't care about any animal? Oh, the nutrivore eats shrimp. Oh, okay, so not a vegan. Therefore, his definition of veganism is void of any meaning. It's completely invalid. That's it. It doesn't matter. Whatever he thinks doesn't matter. He's just a numquat. Shrimp. Oh my god. Nutrivore bases his veganism on sentience. Well, shrimp are sentient. Fight me on that one. Debate me on that one, if you want. But shrimp are animals who feel. And this sentience bullcrap, I'm starting to doubt it even because it's like, oh, Bibles. What Bibles, man? Those are animals too. And if they have this nerve ganglia or whatever, they have nerve connections and stuff. They can feel too. And they're animals, and they're most importantly, they're marine animals who we should not be messing with in the first place. Like the sea is to be respected more than any other ecosystem or anything like that, because that's the primordial thing. That's what gave us life, and that's what's keeping life on Earth possible. So the ocean is the most important part of the planet. It's like basically it's most of the planet is water. So the inhabitants of the water, they're the most important. The Little Mermaid and Sebastian and all of those guys. Not the species he refers to according to understanding of the research. Class have eyes, for goodness sake. Not the species he refers to, according to his understanding of the research. What the heck? Well, according to his understanding, I don't care. Shrimps are individuals too. I think he ascribes to the precautionary principle. Well, I don't care if he prescribes to the Stanley Parable. He has to not eat shrimps because they're not edible. That's in my definition of veganism. If you eat shrimp, you're garbage. I should add in the definition that if you eat shrimp, a giant bird may peck you to death. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Oh man. I'll probably make that a meme, like the gah thing. Maybe the giant bird could be a thing, like giant bird attack. That could be a thing. Oh man. Okay, precautionary principle. Who cares about Nick? I'm guessing Nick is the Nutrivore. Nutrivore. You know what? What a numquat. Nutrivore. Even the name of the channel is ridiculous. I'm not defending Nick. I'm just wondering what you think. Exactly. I know you're not defending him. But it's like what I think. Shrimps are off the table. Sorry. They like do this eye ablation thing to the female shrimps so they can produce more little shrimpies on purpose. They cut their eyes off like. So I don't know. That's horrible. And I don't know why that induces more birthing of shrimpies, but apparently it does, and it's a practice that they do. And I don't like it. So I'm not going to eat shrimps. Oh man. Also, shrimp has excrement inside it and stuff like that. I don't know. You wanna eat ocean poop? Then yeah, sure. I don't want to, but whatever. Um, Man alive. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, I don't know. Everyone's gonna try to come up with their own definitions and stuff. I'm looking forward to the. Do your definition is fairly based on the classification of animal, not sentience? Exactly. Which is kinda weird because by making it about animals, it kind of is is a speciesist in a way, but it's like, well, I'm willing to go speciesist because to me, if it belongs in the kingdom of Animalia, then not to be messed with. Because here's the thing, like, if we go by sentience and we classify sentience as having a brain, but there are animals with no brains who also move and stuff and do things on their own and may feel things. I'm just gonna go on the safe side and say let's try not to bother them really, because in any case we don't even need to bother them. That's the thing. Like, why go for clams and oysters and stuff? There's not even a need for that. We can just do well with whatever we have on land. I don't see why are we bothering these creatures. Like, we have all this produce here, vegetables and legumes and stuff. Like, why are we bothering these animals? Just, oh well, in the off chance that they don't feel anything. That's weird. I'm going to bet that they do. I'm just going to not bother them, you know, just in case. So just to be on the safe side, I'm just not going to bother them. And you know, because who decides this sentience thing? I don't know. It's like, it's weird. There's this clip of Vegan Gains when he finds out that lobsters don't have brains, and he kinda goes kinda crazy with that. And then he made a whole thing, extremely cringy video with like a frog and like a clam or something like that, like a mollusk or something, trying to make it seem like, yeah, no, the frog has a brain, and you see, and this doesn't have a brain. And Gaines, I love that guy. He's really funny, but some of his ideas are kind of weird. Like, oh yeah, but frog. Okay, yeah, frog has a brain and clams don't, so eat clams. That's weird. I don't know. I don't go by that. To me, the having a central brain system doesn't mean much. Octopi. Yeah, I think it's octopi. Well, I don't know. The plural of octopus. They have like a bunch of. I guess they have their brains. I don't know. I've read that they have like individual brains or something like that for every tentacle or something like that. So it's like, I don't know. It's not like a central brain operating the thing. So what's there's not like a, just because there's not a central system like we have doesn't mean that they don't feel anything. I don't know. It's weird. Um, but yeah, maybe our understanding of other species is very um, prejudice based and very outdated still to this day, and very biased, you know. And maybe some of the science isn't really there because no one really bothered to check all the way through, because we've always been speciesist d-bags. And right now is when we're being more aware of all these things, and maybe now we're going to to see the animals as they are really are. I don't know. Let's hope that this is the case. What about the plant that does have sentience? What about a plant that does have sentience? Say we found one never seen before. Ah, yeah, that would be weird. Like a plant, sentient plant. Yeah, I mean, there is. I saw this video on YouTube. There's this video. I didn't click on it. I'm gonna search for it again. And maybe I'll do a reaction to it. Maybe I should do like a reaction video to that. It says something like the animal that's also a plant. So it's kind of weird. It's like a weird hybrid plant animal thing, and it looks kind of like a leaf, but with a head and antenna and stuff. It's weird. It's freaking weird. But apparently it's like a hybrid thing with animal with plants. So I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's worth checking out. Because there could be exceptions, but that's the thing. Just because there's an exception doesn't mean that we're going to make that the rule and then just go with it. Like, oh yeah, well, there's a sentient plant, so let's just like, no. Like, this plant is sentient, therefore let's not eat onions and tomatoes because they might be sentient. No, no. That plant is, that's something completely different. But I don't know. I don't think plants, it would not be classified as a plant then, because if it's sentient, I don't think we would qualify. I don't know. We would have to see. I don't know, it would be weird to find such a thing, but it could be. I mean, not. I don't know on planet Earth, but who knows what other type of life forms can exist anywhere else? You know. Don't eat that plant then. Yeah, exactly. Just to be on the safe side. Like, yeah, no, I don't know. Imagine like you start biting into the stem or something, and the plant goes like ah. Hey, no. Oh man, I don't know. It would be weird, but yeah. So I don't know. Remind me of the poppers from Futurama. Exactly. You know that's a great episode. The poplars, you know. Was poppers or poplars? I believe it was poplars. The little thingies that were like popcorn or something, and it turns out they were sentient beings from another planet. Man, that episode is great. That's a great episode, and it does have like a really interesting message. But of course, because of the era in which it was made, you know, they have this hobo guy, I don't know, being like the hippie vegetarian guy, going like, yeah, I have this lion. I taught him to eat tofu, and the lion is like malnourished and emaciated and stuff. Poor lion, really. But you know, gotta bounce too. Thanks for the live, AJ. Great to be with fellow vegans in the chat also. Hey, well, have a good one. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up anyway. But yeah, that Futurama episode is really cool. It's really a good thing for vegans to watch if they haven't watched that one, because it's really interesting. All the ideas that are there about, you know, respecting other life forms and stuff like that, and it's really interesting. It's a really interesting episode. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it up to here. I don't think any more can be said, and I have other stuff to do, sadly. So, see you then. All right, thanks you so much. You are awesome. Hey, thank you, and well, see you in the next one. And yes, I'm gonna make that video about the cube of truth. It's going to be really funny. Ah man. So I don't know. Remember, stop hurting animals, start turning veganese, and don't eat shrimp. They're people too. Come on.